Your dreams are telling you something. Scientists finally figured out what.
You wake up from a dream and something feels wrong. You can't remember exactly what happened, but there's this feeling, this weight, and then it's gone. Most people dismiss it. They roll over, they check their phone, they forget. But your brain was working all night. It was trying to tell you something important. Here's what neuroscientists have discovered in the past decade. Your dreams aren't random. They're not just noise your brain makes while you sleep. They're a direct message from the parts of your mind that never stop working, the parts you ignore when you're awake. During REM sleep, that's the deepest dreaming phase, your brain is processing emotional information at levels of intensity you can't access when you're conscious. Researchers at UC Berkeley found that during REM sleep, your brain's emotional processing centers light up at 30% higher intensity than they do during your waking day. 30%. That's not small.
So when you wake up and that dream dissolves into fog, what you're actually losing is critical emotional data. Information your brain collected, information it's trying to organize and file away. Think about the last time you had a nightmare. Not just any bad dream. I mean the kind that wakes you up, heart pounding, that leaves you shaken for an hour. That's not your brain malfunctioning. That's your brain screaming at you. Here's the mechanism. During the day, your conscious mind filters everything. You see a stranger's face, and within milliseconds, your brain has evaluated threat level, social status, emotional state. But you're not aware of 99% of that processing. You just have a feeling. And most of the time, you push it down, you rationalize it, you move forward. But your brain doesn't forget. It files it away. And then, at night, during REM sleep, it brings all of it back out. It replays it. It connects it to other memories, other fears, other unresolved patterns. And it creates a story, what we call a dream, to help you process what you couldn't process during waking hours. The neuroscientist who led the research team at UC Berkeley, Dr. Matthew Walker, explained it this way. Dreams are essentially a form of overnight therapy. Your brain is trying to emotionally regulate, trying to file memories, trying to prepare you for threats it detected. So if you're having recurring nightmares, your brain is telling you something is unresolved, some threat pattern, some emotional wound, some fear you're not directly confronting while you're awake. Let me give you a specific example. Imagine you have a boss who makes you deeply uncomfortable. During the day, you rationalize it. He's just direct. He's just stressed. It's just business. But your brain sees something different. Your brain sees a threat, an authority figure with unpredictable emotional responses, someone with power over your livelihood. That night, you dream. And in the dream, the scenario escalates. Your boss becomes more threatening. The stakes become higher. The fear becomes visceral. You wake up in a panic. But here's what your brain just did. It was showing you the emotional truth underneath the surface-level rationalization. This happens to virtually everyone. The human brain is constantly detecting micro-expressions, tone shifts, body language cues that signal threat. But the conscious mind downplays these signals because it's convenient, because confronting them requires action, requires risk. So your dreaming brain does the work instead. Research from the Max Planck Institute found that people who remember their dreams in vivid detail have higher levels of activity in the areas of the brain associated with emotional processing and creative problem solving. These aren't people with better brains. They're people who are paying attention, who are listening when their brain is trying to communicate. The problem is, most people wake up and immediately dismiss the dream. They say it's meaningless. They say it's just brain noise. And they go back to living the same patterns that created the nightmare in the first place. So your brain has to try harder next time. More vivid, more disturbing, more undeniable.
It's like someone trying to tell you something important, and you keep saying, I don't have time for this. Eventually, they stop being polite. They start yelling. Now, here's the dark part that most dream research doesn't mention. If you consistently ignore your dreams, if you wake up and never give them a second thought, your brain actually starts suppressing them. Your dream recall gets worse. You have fewer lucid moments. It's not that you're dreaming less, you're just not remembering them. And that means you're missing critical data. You're walking around with unprocessed emotional information, unresolved fears, unrecognized patterns. And these things control your behavior way more than you think.
Studies on trauma survivors show that people who have severe recurring nightmares often have PTSD symptoms that don't improve until they actually engage with the dream material, until they sit with the discomfort, until they decode what their brain is trying to tell them. But even without trauma, the same principle applies. Your dreams are showing you the truths your waking mind is too defended to see. Here's what happens next in your life. You start making decisions based on information you don't consciously understand. You push away relationships that feel familiar because your dreams showed you they matched a pattern. You take or avoid certain jobs for reasons you can't articulate. You have anxiety in specific situations that doesn't logically match the surface level context.
And underneath all of that is data. Dream data. Emotional processing data that your brain collected while you were sleeping. So, what do you actually do with this? How do you listen? The answer is simple, but it requires discipline. You have to start remembering your dreams. The moment you wake up, before you check your phone, before you move, before you start thinking about the day, you have to pause and just sit with whatever you remember, even if it's just fragments, even if it's just a feeling. Write it down. Not a formal journal, just notes. Key images, emotions, conversations, whatever surfaces.
Do this for 1 week, just 1 week. What you'll start to notice is patterns. The same character appearing, the same emotion, the same unresolved tension. And once you see the pattern, your waking mind can finally engage with what your dreaming mind has been trying to tell you. That boss who appears in your nightmares, that's your cue to examine the relationship more honestly.
That falling sensation? That's typically about loss of control somewhere in your waking life. That person from your past who keeps showing up? Your brain is telling you there's something unfinished, something you need to process or release. This is what neuroscience has proven. Your dreams aren't entertainment. They're not random. They're a direct communication channel from the parts of your brain that never stop working, the parts that see what you refuse to see. The question isn't whether your dreams mean something. The question is whether you're brave enough to listen.
Tonight, when you sleep, your brain will be working. It will be processing. It will be trying to tell you something. The only question is whether you'll remember it, whether you'll sit with it, whether you'll let that information change how you move through your waking life. 1 week. Write down your dreams for 1 week. Then notice what patterns emerge. Notice what your brain has been trying to tell you all along. Your dreams aren't telling you the future. They're showing you the present, showing you what you've been too defended to see. The only question is whether you'll listen.